Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My friends, today is the day that we begin our excursion, our adventure, our trek. I use trek a lot around here. Into my favorite cartoons of the 1980s. Now, these cartoons are cartoons that I remember fondly, and again, the details are lost to me, as most things are in time. I remember a lot about Mask, I remember a lot about Transformers, and I just don't remember the minutiae, and I don't remember, how well were these constructed. This is a travel down, amnesia lane for me. But the one series that I can say I know about, but I've never truly watched is Robotech. And Robotech, for this reason, very quickly, so we can get into actually watching it. My best friend when we were growing up was older than me. And he had a little bit more leeway with what he was allowed to do and how he was, a little bit more freedom, maybe is the best way to say that. But my buddy in North America where we lived, Robotech only aired on weekdays at 6 in the morning. Now, that's pretty early, and on weekdays, when normally you're getting ready for school, it became an impossibility for me, especially because I was younger. And my buddy was able to watch the whole thing. He loved it. He told me all about it. Whenever I would go over to his house, he would show me an episode. But back in the day, my household had VHS, and my buddy's household had Betamax. So he was unable to give me a tape, even though he desperately wanted to, so I could, watch the whole series that he had taped. But unfortunately, I was only able to watch things when I would go over to his house. And we would play. And so we would get toys and, we would play that, we were part of, the Robotech Defense Force, the SDF-1, I believe was the ship that they were all on, against the Zentradi. I knew all the Max Sterling and, Rick Hunter and Ben Dixon, who I think I always was, but everybody was kind of put in, we were able to play. And back then, they didn't even really have toys in North America of the Robotech. I'm not sure if they had toys anywhere, to be honest. But what we did was we got models, and the models actually converted, which was insane. But we have to be very careful with them. But, we would get models and we would put them in the various stages, like you have like the fighter craft or the robot or the half fighter craft, half robot type stuff. We'll get into that. But yeah, that was basically it. So I've played with it and I've been around Robotech, but I have never, ever seen the series other than, a handful of episodes a million years ago. So my friends, I'm super excited for this one. This is going to be something that, I can finally say I've seen Robotech. I understand where my buddy back at the time was coming from and how much he loved it. And maybe I'll be able to revisit a portion of my youth that was incapable of actually fulfilling this lifelong requirement. So let's see if we can do that, my friend. So my friends, if you stuck with me through that long-winded tale and explanation, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring-a-ding-ding that bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted here on YouTube anytime we go live with any of our science fiction fare, our Star Trek, any of our classic cartoons that we are getting into here with Saturday Morning React-TOONS. Anything that you possibly need, and if you would like any of that stuff early and in a longer format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. Join us over there. We would love to see you. My friends, that was then, this is now. If now was the 1980s, and I am dramatically younger than what I appear. So let's, my friends, get ready to watch Robotech Season 1, Episode 1, Booby Trap. Cannot wait to see this, my friends. It's been a couple decades in the making. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go. I don't even remember the theme song. That's crazy. I don't remember the song at all. Now, I remember that shot. Boy, the animation is so good. Oh, this is badass. Great animation. Now, I know this is the intro, so the animation's probably way more detailed, but still, it's just so good. That's a Zentradi pod, right? I mean, hell, if you're going to be in a fight, you better look good. My buddy always used Jetfire or Skyfire, the Transformer, for one of the Veritech fighters.
In the year 1999, high above Macross Island in the South Pacific, a phenomenal event occurred in the skies which altered the course of human history.
Really?
A gigantic alien spaceship broke through the very fabric of hyperspace on a collision course with the Earth.
Really?
During its uncontrolled fall from the sky, the plummeting space fortress produced shockwaves of incredible force.
No way. Oh my God, so it was like a Terminus event. Wow. Episode 1 Booby Trap. How's the hell of a beginning? So is that the SDF-1? Mankind didn't build it? We're 5 seconds in and my mind is blown.
The armored hull had taken the brunt of the damage, leaving much of the sophisticated technosystems intact. What remained of the giant battle fortress gave evidence of a civilization that was light years ahead of Earth's most advanced thinking.
Wow.
A ceasefire was ordered, and world leaders banded together to form a united Earth government.
That's crazy.
Minds formed a research team to study and restore the alien space fortress. Deciphering parts of documents found on board, they labored to unravel the secrets of an incredibly complex technology called Robotech.
This is insane.
World leaders ordered a celebration.
What a crazy backstory. So this ship crashes to Earth and they build...
Every citizen, man, woman, and child was gathering to celebrate their achievement and to witness the launching of their planet's new defender.
This is crazy.
Don't look so sour, Captain Glover.
Captain Gloval.
All manual systems are green light. I will now feed you the computer.
The ceremony starts in 15 minutes. I hope the captain gets here in time. I hear he didn't get much sleep last night.
Yeah, the other officers threw a farewell party for him. They probably sat up all night telling each other war stories. You know how they are.
It's the command crew, huh?
I had a late dinner with Commander Foker.
Claudia!
What?
You stayed out all night knowing you both had flight duty today.
So, what's the big fuss about, Lisa? We won't let it affect the performance.
I appreciate them repeating their names.
Your responsibilities to the ship come first, Claudia.
But my private life is my business. Nobody else's.
Yeah, Lisa.
Lisa doesn't understand about men, Claudia. She's in love with this spaceship. Yeah, you guys
And her Pert Plus commercial.
argue.
I'm not the one who keeps butting into everybody's business.
This is a very functional bridge. Everybody just busting everybody's balls.
Aircraft, Lisa.
Attention aircraft approaching on...
Oh, she's the air traffic controller. Holy shit. He's not at her post.
201.
That's confirmed.
Well, isn't he the main character? That's Rick Hunter, right?
Lieutenant Commander Roy Foker, leader of the Veritech Fighter Squadron, will describe the action for us.
Today, you'll see how we've applied human know-how to a complex alien technology. Oh, no. Rick! Is that you, Rick Hunter?
Roy, it's good to hear your voice, old buddy. I understand you're a lieutenant commander now.
Are you crazy? Get that junk heap out of here!
Oh, man.
Well, this isn't your dad's amateur flying circus. My men are real pilots.
I'm gonna have to make you eat those words, Commander.
Okay, so Rick is from a flying circus. Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of there!
So he's taking his ship up against Veritech fighters. I gotta go kill somebody.
Phew. Hi, Roy.
How's my neckerchief look?
It was just a simple booster climb. You taught me that yourself when I was just a kid.
Well, Jesus, how...
I have to admit, those guys...
Is Rick young or just short? Or is like Roy super tall?
I know all about your winning the amateur flying competition last year.
Actually, I've won it 8 years in a row. What have you been doing?
Well, Rick, if you've won it 8 years in a row, you probably should have gone pro, but...
You promised my dad that
Petite cola.
you'd come back to the air circus. Why did you go back on that promise, Roy?
He's a commander, man. He's lieutenant commander.
I don't care. That's it. We're going home.
That's it. Yep.
Huh? Well, Roy, I see you're still a big ladies' man.
Jesus. I need some ages.
Blasting through a warp fold in deep space, a gigantic alien spaceship enters Earth's solar system in pursuit of the damaged Robotech vessel, which has eluded capture by slipping through the time-space continuum.
Oh, okay. So not only did it arrive on Earth, it traveled through time.
Battle vessels manned by the Zentradi,
Holy
a race of warriors bred
shit.
for thousands of generations for the sole purpose of military conquest.
They really want that ship.
They couldn't have gone far in their condition, and they would have to have landed in order to repair the ship.
Yeah, so what happened to the crew?
Send a scout team.
I mean, do you have anybody to spare? You got like 3,000 ships.
This fighter's a real beauty, all right. It looks great, but how does it handle?
Well, why don't you just climb aboard and see for yourself?
You mean that?
Sure, I'll go along and ride piggyback behind you. The controls may look pretty complicated, but I'll check you out on them.
I'm not worried.
Good thing we're filled up on fuel and arrogance.
The Robotech project has been a tremendous asset to the economy of Macross City and to
Excuse
the
me,
world.
sir. Urgent message from the Space Monitoring Station.
There's 3.2 million ships in space. This is crazy.
System aboard the ship is
Okay, that's
starting-
Claudia. She's linked with Roy.
System is activating the main guns to fire.
Oh, this fucker transforms?
Shut down all systems.
It doesn't work.
Oh, is it going like full auto?
I can't control them. What do we do?
It's like vaporizing the ocean.
Look at that. Now we know for sure that the ship is on that planet.
I think maybe you need 3.2 million more ships. How often can they fire?
We have control now. What happened, sir?
Oh my god, did it destroy part of the city?
Wow, what were all those fireworks about?
I don't know. I better go check. Wait here. I'll see what's going on.
Oh, I smell what the Rock's cooking here. Rick's gonna be in his ship whenever all hell breaks loose.
But our guns were firing at.
I have it here, Sammy.
Sammy.
Both objects were struck dead center by the beam and were disintegrated. Huh?
Oh, good. They put somebody really rational in charge.
We should have known. A booby trap, of course.
Booby trap, sir?
He said the thing.
The aliens who abandoned the ship armed it with an automatic defense system designed to detect and destroy their enemies.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Scramble all the fighters and prepare for combat.
Wow, they're getting into it, aren't they? Like the fanfare. The military drums are a perfect touch for the score. Okay, these are our ships, right? Man, we are getting in it. How big are these Zentradi ships, like, compared to, like, the fighters and stuff? Like that ship, I wonder. I need, like, a size comparison. These Zentradi ships are coming apart.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I didn't expect any of this.
Blast them to bits.
Fire our turd craft lasers.
Those idiots behave as though they don't even know how to use their own weapons. Full barrage, all cannons.
I know how to use my weapons. They're in deep shit.
This is Armor 10 Space Cruiser calling SDF-1. Come in, SDF-1.
Wow, they got fucking wrecked. Well, they're gonna have to launch.
I had hoped that war was a thing of the past.
Face them in the skies, Global.
All forces, move out! We are under attack by alien invaders.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Wolf team has cleared. Skull team, prepare for takeoff.
Skull team ready.
Wolf team is... Okay, Skull team. So Skull team's our team.
It appears to have been completely remodeled. Perhaps by the inhabitants of that planet.
Mere Micronians couldn't possibly have captured a Robotech ship.
That's what they call us, Micronians?
What about the crew? They wouldn't just let them have it.
Maybe they were killed in the crash.
They didn't say they found bodies, though, did they?
It is a Robotech vessel. We know they have...
Reflex weaponry.
Reflex weaponry. Boy, they're not taking it easy on terms, are they? A ton of shit. Oh! Intercept missiles. Oh my god. Holy...
You there on the exhibition grounds were on combat alert. Why haven't you taken off?
You don't mean me, do you? Hey, what? Huh?
Yep. Lisa means you, buddy.
Runway 2 is clear. You're fully armed and your jets are overheating, so prepare for immediate takeoff.
Go get him, Rick. I love the controls.
Wow.
Get up there, kid. God, there's so much fire in the air. Look at that shit.
This is Skull Leader calling Veritech Fighter Group. Fokker, would you mind telling me what's going on around here?
Who's that? Rick, how's it feel to be a fighter pilot?
What? Dude.
Big brother, I'm not a fighter.
Big brother.
Hang on, Rick, I'm coming. You weren't hit, it was just a close one. You all right?
Phew, yeah, I'm okay.
Don't worry.
It's like a tutorial in a video game.
You'll get used to it. Just tag along behind me for a while, if you can keep up with me.
If I can.
I like how Roy has a different, like, paint job than everybody else. Oh, shit.
Climate bank!
Roy, get back there, dude. A flashback? Okay.
I can't get control of it.
Dead stick, man.
Have you tried switching to configuration B?
B? What's that mean?
You don't know?
Impossible.
Oh, you launched somebody that's not...
Okay, I found it. What's it doing?
Hell yeah. That's how I always used to play with the toy that I had was sort of broken. So it was always half robot, half jet. Oh, he went full configuration. My God, that sounded like I've been playing way too much Baldur's Gate 3. It sounded like down by the river.
In the next episode of
What?
the aliens strike in full force and the desperate battle for the planet Earth reaches the very streets of Macross City.
Oh my God. Holy my God, did they throw a lot at us? A lot at me anyway. Holy crap. All right, friends. That was Robotech Season 1, Episode 1, The Booby Trap. Oh, the only thing left to do is definitely talk about it. All right, friends, just got done watching Season 1, Episode 1 of Robotech, The Booby Trap, and I thought it was exceptionally well done. Obviously, it's a cartoon. Obviously, you know, there's a couple things that, you know, if you're really applying a critic's eye to any of this stuff that you might kind of like, you know, roll your eyes at or something. But I thought that there were very few of those. I don't want to say that it was littered with anything like that, you know, just a kind of few, you know, like the bridge scene where they're talking about being out the night before and then getting into like a crosstalk battle and, you know, like the guy or global or Global. I think it's Global hitting his head when he walked in. You know, that just, super nitpicking there. I thought the story was, I had no idea, one, that the SDF-1 was an alien ship that we repurposed. I think that is exceptionally interesting because it's completely foreign tech that we've integrated our own, I guess, into so we can use and utilize this robotechnology. Really interesting, and it's only been 10 years since it crashed. And also, they were talking about using time space, so whenever it went to warp or whatever it was, whenever it made that same sound that Armada made, they said that, oh, you know, that happened 10 years ago. Okay, so that's super interesting to me because, you know, they said that the time space was manipulated, so that certainly opens the door for time travel because it certainly seemed like that Armada that appeared, at least the commander with the like the half metal or that helmet with the one eye thing. He seemed to make it sound like it was very you know, we got to find that ship that was crashing, like it was in the act of crashing. And they seemed shocked by the fact that, one, you know, we had technology that was even, you know, kind of comparable to them. And two, that we had completely repurposed everything. So it was, or repurposed, remodeled the SDF-1. So it was like, you know, they were sort of shocked by the idea that, you know, so it certainly seems like there's a paradox going on there where they think only a few, you know, moments has passed or, you know, a day or something, short period of time. And then we have a 10-year, a decade time pass at the site of impact. Plus that crash, the devastation that was wrought from it. unreal. I really enjoyed that background setup. It was very, very good. So you're introduced to a couple characters, bridge crew. We had Lisa and Claudia, who seem to be, I guess, I'm not sure who's in charge there. Claudia is linked with Roy in that I'm not sure if they're supposed to be romantic or friends, but she said that, they'd basically been out drinking the night before and they had a late dinner or early breakfast or something or other. So, I mean, that kind of speaks, I don't know if that's 1980s kid cartoon for, they're having sex, but it may be, I don't know. But, so we got to meet Claudia and Lisa. And then I think Sammy was one of the techs in the back, or one of the section chiefs or operators in the back of the bridge. And then Captain Global is on the bridge. So there's 4 bridge crew members that we know. We also met Roy, obviously, who seems to be in charge of Skull Squadron, which is the squadron that I have on my shirt. And I know that the white ship that Roy flies has a skull and crossbones when it's somewhere, simply because the toy that my best buddy had, I mentioned during the reaction, he used the Transformer Jetfire, Skyfire, for his when we played, and the rest of us had models, which his was far superior because it didn't break. But he put a skull and crossbones like sticker that he found on it somewhere, and I remembered that, so when they said Skull Squadron, that pinged, that maybe it's named after Roy's ship. And then we met Rick. Roy and Rick have a history. Now, he said brother, but I'm not sure if he meant brother like, my great friend brother or my actual biological brother, because from what I remember, I mean, they could be half siblings. I don't know if it's a term of endearment or an actual like biological designation, because I'm pretty sure it's Roy Fokker and Rick Hunter. So again, I mean, they could easily, I'm not saying that they can't be biological brothers. I'm just saying that, their appearances seem very different too, with Roy either being exceptionally tall and blonde and Rick potentially being shorter and, dark haired. So I don't know. I'd like to get some clarification on the exact relationship. Otherwise, I mean, regardless of their biological nature, they're apparently, very good friends. We also have to assume that Rick is one hell of a pilot if he can even keep that Veritech fighter that he literally got into moments before, flying the first time in a combat zone. He's able to keep it, airborne and himself alive. Awesome stuff. The animation is shocking to me. And again, now here's the thing that I always look for too, especially in like, early cartoons. They usually render a couple scenes very, like really detailed, like ships exploding. I saw a couple really like detailed, those Zentradi ships coming apart when the SDF-1 fired, and kind of clipped the two with reflex technology, I think is what they called it. I'm not sure if that's like an offshoot of like Robotech. Like reflex is like the energy that's produced, and Robotechnology is like the software and hardware. We'll find that out. But okay, so whenever we saw those ships come apart by the reflex technology, their reflex energy that we'll see, it was very well rendered. It was, exceptionally animated. So I always check to see if, and there's no fault to this by any stretch of the imagination, but, they start using like, that's their default Zentradi blowing up clip. You notice that in a lot of like earlier animation, like the really good ones, they get a lot of mileage out of them. Shots, the really good shots, they get a lot of mileage out of them. Maybe they try to like zoom in a little bit, or kind of change them in little certain ways. But we'll see if that's something that they employ. But otherwise, I think just generally the animation is very strong, especially for the time, and especially for the amount of movement that they have to kind of depict. Animation in itself, especially back then when, there wasn't a lot of computer assistance at all, being able to draw all of this stuff is one thing, and being able to get it, produced quickly. But then when you add like the element of multiple moving parts inside each cell of animation, where you've got, enemy ships, the protagonist ships, projectiles, explosions, that is incredibly impressive. Not to mention the entire background is moving to simulate the motion of the craft. I mean, it's almost mind-boggling to be able to, this is like their lead-in episode where it's like, hey, we're going to have a huge aerial fight. We're going to have a space armada fight. We're going to have, people flying through a city and a shot going off and a plane crashing on, or a ship crashing on planet. Crazy stuff. But I absolutely loved it. It seemed like it was about 10 minutes long. It really did. So I don't want to talk anymore about it, my friends, because it's time for episode 2. So my friends, if you stuck with me this long, do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring-a-ding-ding, that bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted anytime we go live on YouTube with any of our science fiction or our Saturday morning React-TOONS or any of our Star Trek content. You'll be there. My friends, if you'd like any of that content early or in a longer format without any types of clips or, you know, all the burps included, our link to our, what a selling point. A link to our Patreon is down in the description. Join us over there. We'd love to have you, my friends. But that's all then, and this is now. And now, for right now, I have to say goodbye from the bridge of the SDF-1, but we'll be coming back very, very quickly, my friends. So until next time, your homework is such. Learn how to fly a Veritech fighter, because you're never quite sure when you're going to be thrown into one just before a major aerial conflict. And if you can't do that, hell, just Vulcan roll. And I'll see you next time.